Welcome back, everyone, to Rando Day for Hollow Knight 8-year anniversary. I'm A-Press again, joined with Henry, and this time we're going to
Hello.
be commentating for the glitched 3 line, and I'm so excited for this. Um, so yeah, once again, I'll go ahead and start with explaining the format. So 3 line is another bingo format. We have our bingo board in the bottom right. The goal is to complete 3 lines, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. This is a glitch format, meaning runners will be allowed to do any and all glitches that they want to do. So we're going to see a whole lot of floating, flying, and we around the map, and it's going to be a great time.
It's gonna be awesome. Glitches in Hollow Knight changed the game so much, and well, it's gonna be awesome.
Changed the game so much, in fact, that if you've been watching today, you know how important Claw is to Rando. It changed the game so much that this seed we're using a custom pool injector that actually removes Claw from the seed. Um, there is no seed in this randomizer. Um,
Yeah, there is no location with Claw. We are gonna be playing without Claw and use many of Hollow Knight's wonderful glitches to well, just ignore it, and it's gonna be
yeah.
great.
And just right away, we already missed over a glitch that Blossom did, using what is called a super slide. If you pause the game during the freeze frames of killing an enemy, you store that nail knockback and you just go flying, and you can use it to skip the breakable floor here in King's Pass.
Yeah.
Um, Probably gonna have another chance to see it from, or sorry, that was Scorp in the top left, who did it first. But I'm sure we probably can see more of those two coming up. Yep, there's Aggie doing it now. Um, just a quick note, that's something that used to exist in the game but did get patched out. The quality of life mod that we use in our rando races actually patches it back in. Um,
Yeah,
and no,
the
so
quality
Super
of life
Slide won't.
mod The quality of life
Uh,
mod adds like a couple of glitches back into the game, right? Like, is there, or is that the only one? Surely
um,
add some others.
I'm really bad at remembering what things are like Kyoto brings back in or
Yeah,
like just makes easier and what did or didn't exist in other patches. But most of what we're seeing is going to be stuff that you can do in just vanilla current patch Hollow Knight.
yeah, right.
Um,
Most things are totally doable.
but yeah, we have a nice King's Pass start, which we kind of like to stay with instead of using like random start locations for glitch locations, or sorry, for glitched randomizers. Just because there's actually like a lot of stuff that you can do straight out of Dirtmouth. Um,
Bakanada.
One of the big ones being, and Scorp giving us a little bit of a sneak peek of it, is doing out of bounds movement. As you're entering a transition, you can kind of just tap to open your map, and there's Scorp doing it again to get control back during the transition, and use it to just fall out of bounds and get to another transition farther below. Um,
Yeah, the map system, the quick map button is just like totally broken, and using it
yep,
while transitioning and while using spells and while using other animations just totally breaks the game in a bunch of wonderful ways, and we'll see our runners totally exploit that.
yeah. One of the things that we like to say about doing glitch randomizer is that you just make a lot of quick map sandwiches, um, which is you'll do a lot
Yeah.
of open, like press the quick map button, do some other action, and then press quick map again, and the map will give you control back when you're not supposed to have it.
Yeah, you'll
Um,
get dive storage or interact text storage or transition storage, and it's great.
it's so great. Yeah, so right away we see Blossom is going to be using their out of bounds movement to skip needing dash to get into Fungal right away. Um,
Right, yeah. You might think you need dash to get across that gap, or infection, or wings, or
or a float ball. No, you don't need
yeah,
any of
spell
it.
ball. You don't need any of that. You just open the map and then you hold right and then you hold left.
Yeah,
Simple.
nice and simple. Um,
Aggie might do the same. Oh, Aggie fell out of bounds, I think. That's okay.
yeah. Yeah, if you miss any transitions, you kind of will just keep falling. There's a big hazard respawn plane at the bottom of the map that'll bring you back up. So Scorp went ahead and fought Malik and is going to get a great slash out of it. Normally something that's not too exciting to see early on, but Great Slash actually does enable a few glitches later on. One of the big ones being Great Slash gives you a way to cancel out of dive storage or out of dive float that normally you can't. So with that Great Slash, if Scorp finds a dive, they're going to be at a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, getting bench storage usually not recommended, but no, that was cool. Yeah, Scorp's really good at using the storage out of bounds, and obviously the Great Slash will help a ton. But using a lot of glitches to like just move around faster. You know, like
Yeah.
you can use storage. Like we talked about how you can use storage out of bounds to access fungal early, and that's totally true. But Scorp's just using storage out of bounds just to do a couple rooms a little bit faster, like just doing the Aspid Arena fall from Hot Spring, just like a couple of frames faster. I don't think anyone knows those out of bounds movements as well as Scorp does, so that'll be really cool to see.
And there's a lot of places like that you can just save some extra time using glitches. I mean, especially like just combining it with all the things at your disposal. So we'll do our best to call them out when they happen.
Oh my god, and Scorp picks up the dive right as we talk about it. Like, go Mass Shard. So now Scorp can get dive float and then use Great Slash to fall slowly. That'll allow Scorp to essentially climb any height he wants to. Like, he could do the Blue Lake, not even a shade skip. You just dive float up there. He could do basically
so
make
much
any
in
vertical.
Crystal Peak.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really cool to see. Maybe he'll follow through on the peak idea. I think I would do that if I picked up dive and Great Slash.
Yeah, doing just like dive float or float peak is a lot of fun. And yeah, as I guess before we start seeing it from Scorp, I can go ahead and explain for people who are less familiar with glitches how dive float's going to work. So it's again a quick map sandwich. You're going to quick map, dive, quick map. And you will get stuck in the like starting bit of dive and just kind of be slowly floating, or honestly pretty quickly floating upward.
Yeah, it's it's the grounded dive, so that like upwards before you start crashing down.
And so with that, you'll just keep going up, basically until you hit an enemy or you hit a transition. When you hit an enemy, it'll cancel it out of it, and you'll go back to just a normal state. If you go through a transition, you'll be in the next room back in a normal state. But with
Super
Great
helpful.
Slash, Scorp can then similarly charge Great Slash, quick map, Great Slash, quick map to get to start like falling down very slowly, and that'll let them like get back on the ground to go do other things.
I think it's very possible we see it here to access Salubra's bench, so there's a chance we'll see it.
Yeah, although with VS, they also might just do a normal air stall to get there.
Going for airwalk.
Yeah.
Scorp was talking about this before the race.
Oh my God.
He was hoping to get a chance to use airwalk, where the game considers you grounded while you jump, which is just, I don't know. Honestly, the glitch scares me because I don't understand it. Sometimes you're just grounded, and then you pause and you jump, and it's like you have a double jump.
Yeah, it's a like frame perfect thing. So you use pause with left ring to do it, but the game will consider you on the ground, so you have like a single frame that you can jump out of it. And yeah, we'll see more instances of airwalk later on, especially combined with float, which we should probably talk about too, because Scorp also has Vengeful Spirit. Oh, there we go. Scorp got the airwalk.
Good
jump.
for Scorp. Yeah. So yeah, Scorp has Vengeful Spirit, which allows Scorp to perform float, which is a ridiculously powerful glitch to have. Again, it's a quick map sandwich with Vengeful Spirit, but the idea is after you quick map, Vengeful Spirit quick map, the fireball never comes out, and you can turn around before the fireball comes out. And if you do that, then you enter a state called float, or called float. And then if you enter a transition, or if you get hit, then you enter a state called persistent float, or P float. Also sometimes called float confusingly, but more often we should precisely call it P float. But it's fine. We can be wrong every once in a while.
Yeah.
And float allows you to stay at the same Y position no matter where you move. So you can just walk left and walk right, and you can walk off a platform, and you'll just keep walking, kind of thing.
Yeah, or if you just hold the jump button, you'll just keep gaining height until you stop pressing jump.
Yeah, and it's really strong because you can get the airwalk glitch to stay considered grounded. Oh, Scorp just did a sick great slash thing. Anyway,
Yeah, so that's the great slash slow fall that we were talking about earlier. You can also just use it on its own as like a really good air stall like that.
yeah, that was sick. Yeah, so using persistent float, yeah, like Apress said, you can get airwalk, and you can just jump as much as you want to and as high as you want to, or not. Or you could just float in the air at the same height if you want to. It's really, really strong. So
It's
being
really
first to
good.
that fireball like Gruzmother, Scorp will have an advantage here for sure. Even though he's one behind on the board, I think he's got a small advantage.
Which, dang, yeah, we haven't even got a chance to talk about the board yet. Um, let's do a quick reading of just everything on here. We have defeat Vengeful King, Massimoff Charger, Trader Lord, slash Millabelle and Pleasure House, obtain Fluke Nest or Fury, get all the Seer checks, visit Distant Villager Hive, which we have 2 runners have already completed, buy 8 map pins from Iselda, obtain a Bishriek, obtain 2 Pale Lore, Shape of Owner Balder Shell, defeat Galeon, check or kill 4 Mimics, talk to the Flute Kermit, defeat Soulmaster, check Shade Soul, check the journal below Stone saying defeat Lostkin, slash 2 Shade Gates, check Crystal Heart, collect 500 Essence, kill a Golka with its own projectile, 4 eggs, Shrine of Believers, Dreamnail Willow's Meal, and defeat Watcher Knights.
This is a great board for a glitch
Yeah,
line. There's a
no,
lot
there's
of
a lot
fun
of
things
ones in
here.
here.
Yeah, I'm hoping we see a good check Shade Soul without Elegant Key.
Yes, I
I'm
love it.
hoping we see, yeah, I'm excited for some of this. This should be fun.
And already runners are going to be starting to think about like where's some synergistic lines that you can go. Since the goal is just to get 3 lines, you're not trying to black out the board. You want them to be like as much overlap as possible, either in like one goal counts in multiple of your lines, or just they're in same areas of the game.
Totally. So I can see, I could totally see like a lot of, I could, what I really see is a lot of deepness goals on here. Like I see some Mimics.
Alien,
And
yeah,
I see
Mimics.
Galeon. So I think maybe that's it though. I would think
Soul
row 3 if
Master
we
and
like
Shade
that
Soul
idea.
right next to each other is pretty nice.
Yeah, good call, good call. Those are really good pair. Dreamnail Willow's Meal is super easy. Anyone can do that. 2
Yep.
Shade Gates is super easy. Anyone can do that. Those are like free goals in my head.
I mean, of course, you need Dreamnail, so it's still rando. It's gonna depend on what kind of things they pick up.
You're right. You're right. It is still rando. Yeah, we'll see if they pick up Dreamnail. We'll have to see. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones here. Journal Below Stone Sank it can definitely be done without vertical, unless you count dive as vertical, which maybe you should. And
Maybe you should.
maybe you should in glitched.
Okay, so we see Scorp is going to be going ahead and getting P float here, and is going to be using it to come up here, get Willow's meal, or the Willow's check, and that's a Dash Master. So Dash Master is super good for glitch rando.
Extremely important.
And it goes a little bit into more of like the nuances
Blossom
of float.
hard locked, I think. Oh no, I'm wrong.
Oh no,
Sorry. I lied.
Which is when you have float, it's really easy to go up, but you don't have any way to go down, except for casting another fireball and losing float. Unless you have dash and you have Dash Master, in which case you can use the down dash to go down.
Yeah, it's one of the very few limitations of float is the ability to go down. You must cast a fireball and entirely lose the state. But having Dash Master, I believe, allows you to keep the state and go downwards. So really powerful. Of course, you need dash.
You need the dash first.
We'll see. Blossom's going for a super slide here. Let's see if they get it. I think they might have been wings okay, anyway. I think they might have been too far away from the bridge, then they lost some speed. I don't know if that's true, but that's just what I feel like I've experienced in glitched.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird sometimes why you don't get that. It feels like you want to start the super slide closer to the left, I think.
I think so too, and I that might just be anecdotal and wrong, but it feels right. So we'll just confidently say it, I think.
I guess yeah. A quick note about float. So normally it's hard to go down. One exception to that is if you hit a slope in the ceiling or on the wall, that can push you down. And that's what Scorp did earlier. Well, they ended up just canceling the float anyways, but you could do that for the Willows check. The slopes down there can push you back down onto the ground.
Yeah, definitely. And the slopes are frequent. So like usually you don't get stuck by not being able to go downwards without wall. Like usually there is wall collision and ceiling collision to save you, but sometimes there's not. And that when there's not, the Dash Master will feel very nice.
But also it's like usually there is, but it's the hitboxes in this game are not what you'd expect them to be.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to know.
Well, we can talk about how Aggie picked up Wings and Monomon. So Aggie's already got a lead in the movement world. So that's exciting.
Which I actually kind of missed. What did Aggie use to get up to Cliffs?
Great question. I didn't watch it honestly, but if I had to guess,
it might have been
be King's
Float.
Pass. Yeah, Dive Float and King's Pass, like at their start location. That could have been it.
Dang, did we miss the hazard warp in Cliffs too?
I think we missed everything. There's so much happening.
Yeah, glitch Rando happened so fast.
I don't even know what Scorp's doing right now. Something crazy. Oh, that was another one of those instances of just moving faster. So instead of walking around from that stone sink bench all the way left and then right, Scorp just did like left the room, storage out of bounds, back, and then came out the stone sink way instead of the bench way. Wild.
And I do just kind of want to point out, like, it takes so much game knowledge to do that, because you just need a lot of knowledge as to like where all the transitions are, and where you can do that. And like there are really some really tricky rooms where you'd think you'd be able to do that, but you just can't because like the geometry continues out of bounds, or like there's acid in the way out of bounds for some reason.
Yeah.
So it really takes just like so much familiarity with the game and with the glitches.
Scorp looks like he's going for the Stone Sank Stone Sank Journal, which is of course on the board. And I like this play. I think it's always good to do goals on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
A very doable one. Scream skip in whatever way you want, of course. Screams are like a joke.
Yeah.
You can just quick map out of all of them, basically. It's great.
Yep. Was having some trouble with getting Float to actually bring him like over to where he needs to for the check. Maybe another nuance that's worth pointing out there is, so to get like P-Flow to bring it in, you kind of need to bring it in from another room. So you're like at the whims of what transitions are available. Dive Flow doesn't have that restriction. You can kind of do it wherever. And so while Scorp could very easily get there with Dive Float, if you pick up a check, one of the shinies while in Dive Float, you actually will soft lock. If you want to get around that, you actually need to have like Dream Nail or C Dash, I believe, will let you cancel out of that.
Yes. Yeah, there are definitely nuances about like having a transition to be able to float from, and the massive Moss Charger one is a little too high to get that journal below Stone Snake. So, I mean, there are other solutions. Scorp knows he could use Dive Float and with Great Slash and lots of other options. But sometimes that happens in Glitch Trainer. You're almost overwhelmed by the amount of glitches you can use. There's just so much you can do.
And it's like, what is actually going to be the fastest, best way to do that?
Call me crazy. I don't think we need to, spread any, I don't think we need to like make this a big deal, but I don't think Scorp killed a Golka with its own projectile. I think he got one hit on it with its own projectile and then killed it with his nail. But I don't think we need to be sticklers. I think we can probably just leave it. I don't think it's a big deal. No need to be crazy. The chat's asking a little bit about main menu storage, I think. Main menu storage is an immensely powerful probably the most powerful glitch in
Yeah.
in vanilla Hollow Knight, and using it to speedrun the game. Well, yeah, it's fast, and it gives you everything. In Rando, no one has really found uses for main menu storage. Is that, or is it
It's
just
still kind
totally
of
baked?
untested. So yeah, so it's kind of twofold. Yes, you could like God home main menu storage into a rando save file to have everything, but at that point it's kind of like, why are we playing a randomizer? Um,
Hmm. Yeah,
it's
picking up
just
items is pointless.
yes. Um, and there are other ways to use main menu storage, but a lot of them just work really like strangely with rando, and especially part of it like we change the menus when we play rando. Um, so part of it is just it's untested, part of it is it does really weird things and we don't know how to make use of it, and part of it is it defeats the whole purpose so we don't do it.
Yeah, totally. But Blossom has said before, like, if you can find a way to use main menu storage to help you, like, you know what, feel free to do it. But I think probably HK8Y is not the best place to show off that you can do main menu storage, because it does kind of trivialize the idea behind the randomizer.
Yeah.
But I would still love to see how it works, because I don't really know how it works. And I don't think other people really know. Again, untested, like you said.
Well, hey, we have 2 more days of HK8 here, and I know we have some all glitches runs in those. So if you want to see some main menu storage, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Absolutely.
But yeah, so right now it looks like this column one is looking like a pretty good line. Defeat Galeon is going to require a Dream Nail, but that's pretty much it. And the rest of the line doable without much equipment either. So um, not surprised to see that we have a lot of our runners going for that.
Totally agree. I think column one looks pretty easy. If I had to pick another line that I think looks relatively easy, I might say row 5. I don't know how you feel about that. All you need is Dream Nail and 4 eggs. Like, Watcher Knights isn't the nicest goal, but
Yeah,
it's pretty doable as long as you
that's
have
not too
right side
bad.
access. And you
You
can
are
get
a little
invul
bit
if you
at the
have
whims
Dream Gate.
of Rando giving you rancid eggs. Probably shouldn't be too much of an issue. 4 is usually not bad.
Yeah, 4 is
But
not the
maybe
biggest
worth noting
number.
that I think between our 3 runners, unless it's just, is it just not on this tracker? It looks like it's not on the tracker. So who knows how many eggs they have?
Surely they're fine. You see
Surely they'd be
Scorp doing a
fine.
slow fall with Great Slash to get the Thorns of Agony check. This is fun to
Nice.
watch.
Yeah.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Thank God he can hit this Soul Totem.
What would they do without
Blossom's
it?
finding the Great Slash, so they'll be very happy about that.
Yeah. Otherwise, so yeah, I didn't see where this city storeroom stag was, but that's something that's pretty good to find. One notable like difficult thing that glitches won't just like trivialize for you is actually your city access. There are some like glitches do allow for some other ways to do it, um, but you can't like break your way into any of the big elevators. You can't glitch yourself to any stags, and there's not really opportunities for out of bounds movements to get to city. So you kind of are at the whims of Rando to find a way in.
Yeah, the only one I can really think of is going backwards through the City Crest entrance with
Yeah,
dive storage and dive float.
which is a
But
great
even that's
one.
not very kind, and it
Yeah.
can be kind of slow,
Mhm.
especially just getting there in general. So yeah,
Yeah.
picking up the City Storms tag will give Blossom quite an advantage here if the other teams don't have it, which I don't think they do, but I could be wrong.
Oh, wait, I do want to call out to Scorps right here. Scorp's going to be doing a hazard warp. Um, yep, so look at that. So just completely skips that whole room. Um,
People talk about
um,
clawless Shio or some crazy stuff, verticalist Shio. Look at
yeah, you don't
that.
need
Who needs
anything.
items? Itemless Shio. You just get hit by the spikes and suddenly you're at Shio.
Yeah, I'm
Insane.
a little worried that I'm gonna mess up how it works, but it's something to do with going out of bounds and like hitting a hazard, and before the room has like updated your hazard spawn location, and so it essentially just like warps you to that location in the next room, and because
Yeah.
the rooms like their origin is in the bottom left, it takes you to just the left side of the other room.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was like something like that or if it was something like you're on the left side of the other room, and then you kind of spawn on the left side of of that. I don't really know how it works. You could be right. It could be that way. I don't really know. It's kind of crazy.
But definitely a fun one to see.
Mm-hmm. Scorp waiting to get enough soul to do this dive float into Howling Cliff, so Scorp will finally get the wings that he was a little bit behind to.
Yeah, and we do get to see another one of these hazard warps here. So they're going to jump up, they're going to open quick map to fall through the transition. So this is the same idea as that last one. They're going to hit the hazard respawn plane and warp to like their hazard respawn location of the last room, which puts them up at the top left.
Right, that King's Pass room that they started in, they were in the very top left of that room, and that meant as soon as they did this hazard warp into this room, they just spawned at the top left, which is the Stagnus entrance, which is so cool. Of course, Blossom's also checking it from the other side after picking the Stagnus stag and So two different ways.
Yeah.
We see Aggie here checking Mantis Village. I kind of expected Aggie to do the dive flow thing we're talking about, but now that I think about that, this is actually a kind of cool play. Like if Aggie ends up turning this into a deep nest, like a deep nest, whatever it's called, a deep nest trip, like that could be really good for Aggie. There's two good goals in deep nest, and turning row 3 into a line is very doable.
Yeah, it's still just a little bit. We haven't seen a dream nail from anyone.
Yeah,
so
that'll definitely be really notable. It's a dream nail heavy board. There's a lot of dream nail on it.
Also, still haven't seen a dash. Do they all have dash master, or I know at least 2 have picked up dash master. So I know they're going to be happy once they get dash.
Yeah, that'll make a huge difference.
But at this point, it's like they are pretty able to get a lot of goals, to get a lot of checks. But stuff like that just helps you move around the map so much faster.
Yeah, I don't think any of them can quite do 3 lines. Does that sound accurate?
I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
Without Dreamdale, there's a lot of Dreamdale goals here. Aggie's
doing Bretta, itemless Bretta, or just dive Bretta. That's pretty hype. Kama could never. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't mean to call anyone out. Sorry. Ooh, a tram pass. I guess everyone probably has that tram pass because everyone else has wings. So
yeah, I think
I didn't even see that before.
Blossom has not been, or it went to Stagnus, but didn't seem to do much else in Cliffs.
I see. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Blossom is gonna come back and get that super slide that we've been waiting to see.
Streamer do a super slide.
Streamer do a super slide. I love when my streamers do super slides. It's a great time.
So true.
I'm sure Kama could do dive float, Bretta.
Yeah,
I would love to see it though.
Kama could definitely do it. I believe. I think Blossom's. You know what? This is interesting because I like what Blossom had, like the play that Blossom have made, and I would have made the same plays. However, the other 2 people have. What I'm getting at is the other 2 people checked Go Mass Shard and got dive, and I think Go Mass Shard is pretty slow itemless. I don't like to get it, but the other 2 people got heavily rewarded for doing Go Mass Shard really early.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, Blossom, I appreciate you. I agree with you, but also apparently you got to check Go Mass Shard. Apparently you were wrong today. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty stacked crossroads, but with that and the VS at Gruzmother, I think probably even more valuable than the dive.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
again,
I think about like, oh, what's progression going to be? And then I forget that we're playing no logic here. There is absolutely no logic in this. There's nothing to read about the seed. You're just picking up any check, and they're all equal chances to be good.
Anything could be anywhere.
It's a little bit freeing, honestly. Like you could just
Right?
go
Yeah.
anywhere and everything's equal. Like the only things you really need to optimize for is check speed and getting the right benches for later. And if you're doing that, then you're playing well.
Also, I do need to call attention to Blossom's spinning grub mod, because I love it and it's incredible and everyone should pay attention to it.
It's
Um,
a beautiful thing. Every single jar is filled with a really fast spinning grub. I think it was created by Math. I
yeah,
could be wrong.
that sounds
Um,
right.
yeah, and it's a wonderful mod. The grubs really spin, and sometimes their pivot point changes from the
Yeah,
middle of the grub to like the side of the grub, so then it like whirls out of the jar or around the jar. It's a perfect mod.
it's
It's made
great.
perfect.
Um, I feel like I want to talk to Blossom about this later on because this is something that has definitely happened to me before, which is that they bought Elegant Key from Sly. Elegant Key being an absolutely useless key in Lich Rando.
Yeah,
But you're so conditioned by NMG Rando that you see it and you go, oh, that's important. I buy that.
but no, you don't need to buy that. That's okay.
Okay, optimizing for the spend 3,000 geo gold. That's not on the board.
True, true. Planning for the next rando.
The next round, yeah, exactly.
They're pre-doing the goals and they can mark it in the next rando. It's perfect.
Do you see Scorp saw a King Station stag? Looks like here at Leg Eater didn't pick it up. But notably that is another bit of city access that can be nice.
Yeah, that's great right side access. And we know Aggie has elevator pass, I believe. I don't think there's another way to that Vessel Fragment Crossroads that they checked.
Yeah.
So if Scorp, oh yeah, and it's on the tracker. If Scorp were to get that too, then Scorp could get to Resting Grounds, which could be really good. There's 2 or 3 goals there if I remember right. So
Although the dive does get them resting grounds access.
oh, you're totally right. The Dark Room and Peak should
Yep.
should keep them there. Forgot about that.
Ooh, looks like we might see Aggie be going for Sanctum. And yeah, we do have that defeat Soul Master, check Shade Soul on the board. Maybe a little bit risky to go for early because Talk to Fluke Hermit can be a little bit out of the way, and Galen, you're still relying on finding that Dream Nail.
Yeah,
but with
it's a
this
little
board, it
early
seems
to
like you're
commit to
kind
that
of.
one.
I think you're kind of relying on finding a Dream Nail no matter what. It seems really hard to finish on this board without a Dream Nail.
Yeah, I'm looking at possible lines without Dream Nail, and it's got to be
Yeah.
less than 5. So yeah, I like just pretending like we're gonna get Dream Nail at some point.
Actually,
I
are
agree
there
with that.
any? I don't think you can do any lines without Dream Nail here. Yeah, they actually
Maybe
all require
row
Dream
one?
Nail, every single line, right?
Just row 1.
Row 1 seer checks. Boss Essence is not randomized.
Oh, Boss Census is not randomized.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
then I
every
think you're
single
right.
line requires Dream Nail, so
Yeah, I agree. This is crazy.
that's pretty funny.
Mhm. So yeah, I think they should act like they're gonna get Dream Nail.
Yeah, I think that's an okay assumption to make.
Yeah. So
And now
Scorp
it
is
just has me so
doing
curious. Where are those gonna be?
yeah. Scorp is doing this slow fall that I
Oh
talked
my
about
God,
earlier. Like
Scorp.
you can get through the reverse fungal city crest entrance with dive float, but wow, is it slow? Slow to get there, and also you can see right now.
Yippee. I'm surprised were they not able to use some of the slopes to speed them up just a little bit?
I don't know. I actually think it is a pretty rectangular ceiling, if I remember right, in this room.
Okay.
I don't totally remember. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Awesome's finding VS finally.
Finally,
They'll be happy about that. They can start doing float.
sure we're gonna
but
see a
still,
lot
our
of that
players
soon.
no dash. Shockingly, no Mantis Claw. As a reminder, there is no Mantis Claw in the seed. It is nowhere in the pool. Our players will be finding their way around Mantis Claw. No C dash either, and yeah, no C dash, no Dream Nail, no dash. So hopefully we can see some of those relatively soon. We can start making some progress.
Yeah.
Whoever finds
Although
those
just to
first
make
will-
sure, so Claw, we've used a custom pull injector to get rid of Claw. The other ones do exist in the seed. We just haven't seen them yet.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly. Well explained. There's no claw, but we could totally find all these other movement items, and hopefully we will. Is the king stag behind shop key, or is it just behind slot? I guess it's just behind slot.
I think what's it might be behind. Well, let's see. Scorb doesn't seem to have shop
No
key,
shop key.
so-
Yeah. So it's just sly locked.
Okay, Blossom, it looks like picked up a fluke nest at Leg Eater, so I think everyone should know that that's there. That's a nice thing to have on the board. Nobody's actually previewed Seer yet, so we don't know quite how bad that Get All Seer checks is going to be. Given it's a solo format, I imagine the maximum essence has been tuned to a normal number.
Yeah, I mean the default in Rando is 900 on like solo formats, but often I think we like to turn it down from that if I remember right. So hopefully they turn it down a little bit, and it's some number that's like very reasonable, but
Yeah.
not totally sure. I guess we'll see. See Blossom working their way over to resting grounds. I like this play for Seer checks and for accessing the Shrine of Believers. Yeah, this is good.
And also just more checks, more places to go.
Yeah, it's nice to see somewhere new. This could definitely be huge for Blossom, going somewhere no one else has been.
Yeah.
Same for Aggie. Aggie could definitely find some great stuff in Sanctum. Oh, they finished the Soulmaster fight with not a lot of soul. We'll see how that ends up working
unfortunate.
out. Yeah.
And it doesn't look like we got a drop of
Yeah, I don't think there's
soul,
any
so-
workarounds here without any soul. Like you want to do float or dive float or something, but
Yeah, not gonna be
I don't
able
think it can
to.
happen. Yeah, even with a nail, I don't think you're hitting those guys.
No, so I think Aggie.
Oh, storage out of bounds.
Does this help you?
No, you just get lower, right? Oh, I guess you get one check here.
Oh, it brings you down
get one.
here. I guess no, but this lets you. You can go out and you can go hit some of the.
Oh, you can hit the guys.
The guys.
Nice,
Yeah.
Very creative from Aggie. I like that. That's
that's
nice.
nice.
That's a great move. Good storage out of bound. Totally saved it. Yeah. Max essence is 6,900. I don't know why I read that. Anyway.
No, I think that sounds incorrect, but
I don't think they do room duping in Rando, so that they're probably not going to dupe essence. I think we actually talked about that perfectly. I don't think we're duping essence, so they'll have to get 500 essence from different dream bosses. We'll see how it goes. Did Blossom check the seer? If they did, I think I missed it.
Oh, I completely missed it too. Shoot, chat. Did anyone catch it? What is their max essence looking like?
I don't know if Blossom saw it 100%. So
I saw them in Dreamplat, so I think they must have.
Yeah, they must have.
It's all right. Chat will cover for us. Someone will let us know.
Someone will clip it and then rewind and then tell
rewind.
us
Yeah.
The max is 837, and then we'll move on or whatever.
And we'll go. Oh boy, that's a lot of essence. I don't know how they're gonna get that.
Scorp just did an awesome jump across the fountain. He just like slowly walked across the fountain and then just did an enormous leap over the entire fountain.
Yeah, float movement's great.
Blossom just found Cyclone, and that's actually NMG. So
oh, wild.
That's interesting. And the first Palor, those are both very easy to find. That's Cyclone. Like, King Station tags at Sly, so anyone could get that Cyclone and that Palor. Useful for the obtain 2 Palor goal, of course.
All right, what do we got here? Sly, give us something good.
NMG Dash.
Show me a Dream Nail?
World
oh, Blossom can sense the world. Incredible.
What a troll.
Yeah, the logic change to NMG. Yes, the thing that exists in our no logic Rando.
Yeah, it's all about logic, obviously.
Yeah,
this is beautiful.
So yeah, it's been a little bit of a. We got a lot of really nice stuff in Crossroads, and not much since then.
No, it's pretty hard to find stuff. I feel like if I were if as someone who can see all of the perspectives,
Yeah.
I think now is the time I'd like to see a place like Waterways or Peak or Deep Nest. Like those could be very interesting areas. They all have
Yeah.
goals there. I guess actually Peak might not have any goals, but those other two could be really interesting if we see people start to head there.
Something notable about Waterways is we have like very low number of simple keys from everyone. It looks like right now Scorp has none. Aggie and oh so yeah, Blossom just used one to get into Pleasure House and is gonna televator up to the top, which you love to see.
Elevator's it's like the best glitch. I wish it was.
It's great. But Aggie also only has one key, so getting into Waterways is not super easy. There's not really too much with glitches that's gonna help them there.
Yeah, getting into Waterways without a simple key is, I mean, like I guess you could do it from right fungal. You could storage out of bounds, but like even that's kind of sketch. And I think you'd much rather just use a simple key. It feels a lot easier and a lot safer.
Yeah, and it just like coming in from the left side like that, it just seems. I thought too much about like what can you get with float through there, and it seems difficult.
Yeah, it'd take a lot of work to get through that second room.
Yeah,
with float because going downwards is so hard. It's like not really happening. You can't really go downwards in that room.
Yeah.
We see Aggie working their way toward Watchers. I like this play. With Watcher Knights, of course, on the board.
On the board, yeah.
Nice use of dive float there.
Yeah, and again, purposely getting hit on the enemy there to cancel dive float. To just give them the rest of their mobility back. Blossom's gonna be actually just using the elegant key instead of using the delayed interaction on the bench to work
I thought there was
through.
a chance Blossom would just delayed interaction anyway, but unfortunately,
it makes sense. You have the key, but hopefully we'll see it from Aggie or Scorp later on because I love that glitch.
Yeah. So we see Scorp get dash at King Station Arena.
Oh, huge.
So that's gonna give Scorp a huge advantage towards movement. I think at this point, honestly, I'd start rushing goals. But he's doing something. Oh no, you still can't rush goals. You need Dream Nail.
You still need.
He's doing this great storage out of bounds to go all the way over the elevator shaft room and come around into Pleasure House, skipping the key usage. That's so smart. Now he doesn't have to use the key and he can get into Waterways still. Wow, that's an awesome play.
Yeah, I love that.
That's really smart.
But yeah, I think we're gonna start seeing this dash make a difference pretty quickly. Like just the extra mobility. Like Scorp is gonna be able to stay in float in a way that like Aggie and Blossom don't really get the option to. And it's really, I think, gonna just enable a lot of like new areas for Scorp.
Yeah, if the Dream Nail is accessible, Scorp might just be able to run away with this and turn it into an app, like just a win. If the other two don't check the King Station Arena soon, and if that Dream Nail is really accessible. We'll have to see.
But maybe it's something worth noting, like in the meantime, like Aggie and Blossom are kind of getting a lead on the board compared to Scorp. So like if they end up finding Dream Nail around the same time, they might have a little bit of an advantage there.
If Dream Nail is behind Watcher Knights, or if it was at Elegant Key, or if it's somewhere near a goal, it does seem like they're much more en route to find it before Scorp.
Oh, speaking of goals and this delayed interaction with the bench, Scorp setting it up here.
Oh yes.
So yeah, essentially the idea is you're going to store the state of being next to the bench to interact with it, and then walk up here, and then when you can still just press up or down to sit on the bench. Doing so will warp you to the bench's X coordinate, so just bring you to the left past the wall.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite glitches. It's great. It's actually like visual frame perfect. What's that called again? I forget.
Yeah, like graphics frame perfect. Yeah.
Graphics frame perfect. So everyone always turns down their FPS to hit it, and even then, it's pretty hard at 50 FPS to get it
Yeah.
just right. Because the lineup also it's not pixel perfect, but it's a pretty tight lineup, and being able to get the slash and the timing right with the interaction. So very impressive from Scorp to hit that, and also just a really fun glitch to make check Soulmaster really easy.
Yeah, maybe it's something worth just like noting for people who are new to glitches. There are a lot of glitches that are like graphics frame perfect like that. So playing on 50 FPS or 60 or 50 FPS is definitely like preferred for a lot of glitch runners, or sometimes just outright required.
Yeah, 50 FPS is definitely the norm. Aggie might have gotten stuck. Oh, remember,
Yeah, they're going to be able to great slash to get themselves down. Although they seem to be having trouble with it. I'm not sure what happened to her there.
Yeah, she'll just come back and it won't be.
Yeah,
shouldn't be too much of a problem. Plus, it's just the Lurian check and the lore check, and she can't even get the Lurian checks.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure, did she get the chest already?
Oh, good question. Maybe she didn't get the chest.
Yeah, I don't think so. So yeah, we'll have to see if they go back there. Oh, a King's
Brand. So usually that's a really nice item in NMG Rando, giving you access to Abyss, but with storage out of bounds and wings, like it's definitely possible to get to Abyss without Brand. So probably not too important. Does that sound accurate?
I guess I'm not super familiar. The version that I know to do the skip into Abyss, you need an air stall and dash. So I don't know if Wings gets around it, but Wings very well could be enough to get you there.
Yeah. No, I could be remembering wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. And so only Scorp that helps. So it actually does help Aggie to easily get into Abyss.
Yeah. So we do get to see Scorp, and there it is, that down dash that we were talking about earlier. Just like normally you would have to drop float to go down, but Scorp instead can just down dash and keep going. And then also a little trick of opening your map in the water in order to sink, and then you could just dash at the bottom of the water.
Yeah, you can see that Dash Master coming into play for Scorp, and it's absolutely enormous in how helpful it is. The other item that really enables a lot of the glitches, which unfortunately I'm not sure if we'll see too much of, is Dreamgate. Dreamgate allows for so many glitches, but honestly, if we see these runners pick up a Dream Nail, we might just see them rush goals. So we might not get to see some of those Dreamgate invulnerability or no clip or some of those other really powerful Dreamgate glitches.
I do want to just say something funny kind of here, seeing Scorp going through Dream Plats. So even though Scorp can just float and do all of the Dream Plats like on his own, you actually need to like guide Seer like in this moth form to the end. Otherwise Seer won't be there to give you your pickup.
I didn't know that.
So you do need to wait for Seer to show up before you start moving. Also, we do get to see the essence now. So max was just at 250. 750?
Oh, I thought it said 750.
250, I think.
Yeah, I believe it. I didn't have a great view of it. Yeah, 250. Yeah. So that's very doable, especially with the 500 essence on the board. It'll make column 5 pretty nice if they get the random obtain, if they get the random charm.
Right.
It'll make column 5 very nice.
Yeah, you're essentially getting 2 goals for 1 there. I think there was Quill there.
Quill?
I don't know if that was intentional. I forgot to mention this during Lesbergy toss, but that's another one of Floof's things that they do is they put there's always Quill at Dirtmouth Stag with custom pull injector. So they might just have that on for this, or maybe they just found a seed that had that.
I would assume they put that there. It'd be annoying to look through. Okay, so Blossom does get bailed out, finds the what is that, the third dive? I think we saw both of the others, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
One was in Sanctum and one was at Go Mass Shards. So Blossom probably thrilled that they now have a dive to be able to access Fluke Hermit. I don't know if that's doable without dive. That sounds hard. Probably is doable somehow.
Man, if it is doable, I mean, you'd have to go through like you can definitely do it with no clip, I guess is the thing, but you can do everything with no clip. I don't know if you can with just like out of bounds.
Yeah, it sounds very, very hard if possible. So
at the very least, you can't from the like waterways bench room. I know that. Maybe there's a way to do it from by Nailsmith, but I don't.
Yeah,
think so.
That sounds suspicious, but possible maybe. Probably just a no clip thing, and
yeah.
Well, frankly, again, I don't think these runners are getting no clip. I think once they get Dream Nail, they'll probably be in mostly go mode. Any 3 lines they want. Speaking of, should we start looking at what lines they'll start to do if they get Dream Nail?
Yeah, we definitely could. I mean, Blossom is very well positioned to go for column 4 here, having gotten that 2 pale ore.
Absolutely.
It's maybe not the fastest if they need to go through all of Peak and they haven't done any of that yet.
Right. There isn't a great way to skip those levers in Peak with glitches. Like you still you can definitely do all of the rooms like very fast with glitches, but you still have to do all of the rooms kind of thing.
Yeah. Column 1 I think still looks pretty good. Pretty much everyone has Stone Sink bench. And going to Deep Nest, like if you find a way to also get row 3 in there, I think that would be really good.
Definitely. Yeah. If you can get row 3, column 1, column 4, I like that. I like those 3. That looks like a nice triplet.
I can also see, just because they all have tram pass, so like that top left, bottom right diagonal might be okay too.
I was also looking at top left, bottom right. That's a nice one with Blossom's Waterways bench already.
Yeah.
They could totally do Fluke Hermit pretty easily. I mean, none of them are really that fast. Like Fluke Hermit, Crystal Heart, and Watchers are all kind of slow, but they're all doable. And Blossom might already be doing Fluke Hermit right now. So
yeah, I do think I really like column 1, row 5, top left, bottom right. I think that's really good.
Yeah, row 5 is really nice. Row 5 is probably the easiest row.
It's just kind of as long as you get those rancid eggs, which you should kind of expect to. That shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, 4 is a pretty small number at the 20 in the pool. Like usually they pick up more than 25% of checks.
Right.
Yeah, and especially with this Dream Nail hunt going on, I'm not worried about that. I think it's really likely they find enough eggs. Speaking of, that's Aggie's 4th egg, right as we say it.
Nice. And yeah, we probably should point out Blossom is on their way to Fluke Hermit here, it looks like. Probably going to be getting the junk pick checks because that's five checks, like you want those things. But I guess, yeah, going to be going up first. Using Dive Float and then Great Flash to make your way down. And then through this room shouldn't be too bad because they have Swim. I think they can just, at the very least, they could Dive Float up and just go through the transition and back down. So, but they're probably going to try and get hit by a Hornp to cancel it out.
Yeah, that's smart. Or a Great Flash.
Or not a Hornp, whatever these guys are called.
Yeah.
Not Fungoons.
Fungoon? They're not Fungoons.
Fungoons are the bigger ones, right? Amblooms?
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I think Ambloom sounds right in my head.
Is that a different one? I don't know.
Ooh, Fungling. Are Amblooms the small guys that walk around?
I don't know. Hollow Knight speedrunners not beating the not knowing lore allegations.
True. Yeah, Fungling. Yeah. Thanks, chat. Keeping us honest.
But yeah, here we go. We see Blom just get to the Fluke Hermit. And honestly, I'm pretty excited to see these junk pit chests. I think they have a very good chance of, I mean, like 5 checks right here. We could see a Dream Nail, very, very much so.
Super possible. And if we do, I think Blossom might just win the race.
I mean, yeah, this feels a little bit like it's a first to Dream Nail kind of thing.
This feels a little bit like it's a first to Dreamnail kind of thing. I think I agree with you entirely. The first to find Dreamnail is going to have a massive advantage, given that every single line requires Dreamnail.
Yeah. But so far, nothing.
Ranked, that's probably nothing. Simple key.
I mean, Blossom does
Nah.
have Grimchild, so can check what's here at Unbreakable Strength.
Interesting.
Meanwhile,
like
so
it
we
could
have
also
Ag and
open
Scorp
Egg Shop.
both in peak, and I don't think we've seen anything too exciting yet.
Blossom finds a dash at Unbreakable Strength.
Dash and strength.
Wow, that's crazy. That gives him such a good oh wow, such a good comeback in order to probably catch up on the check counter. I would assume Scorp's a little ahead. Scorp
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
been
probably right.
rushing checks, but Scorp's probably ahead on checks based on just having dash earlier than the other two. So
Yeah.
Blossom can start to catch up pretty fast with that dash. I might like to see an egg shop check from Blossom. I don't think there's any
Yeah,
other
with that key they just got.
simple key locked goals. So that new key could be really nice in the egg shop door.
Also, yeah, Aggie having a little bit of trouble there. And actually, I think I'm actually not sure. Does Aggie have Great Slash? No, so Aggie actually doesn't have Great Slash. They missed that. That's why they've been having trouble with those dive floats.
That's what it
and
is.
Yeah, really unfortunate there with this Sea Peak or the like Sea Heart Gauntlet. Even though it looks like the crystals there should hit you, only the lasers have hitboxes. So Aggie was trying to get hit by them, but actually can't. So I think they might be able to go through with P float, but it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Let's see how Aggie does this. This is going to be very interesting.
Try to, because otherwise, I'm not sure what options they have. I don't think
It'll be
winning this
really.
fight's-
It's hard to imagine them. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Good question.
Because let's see, does that? Yeah, that puts them back here. So
Yeah, it's just not enough. Doesn't load it enough.
with
Oh, look what Scorp's doing. And then you
Oh,
open the
nice.
map. Open the map to freeze. Does that only work if you have Dash Master?
so that's actually
No,
any
it
time
doesn't.
with float. Yeah, if you open your inventory, you do just like cancel out your any speed that you have.
And there's a really kind ceiling ready to guide you down to land on the ground. So I don't know if Aggie knows about that. I assume not, but looks like P-Float will get you through the room really nicely. Of course, it doesn't get you the other two checks in the room, which Aggie's currently going for, but it does get you the one that's on the board. So very smart.
Yeah, so it's just unfortunate. But it's one of the things that you see, just like having that dash and dash master gives you so much more flexibility with float.
Yeah, and
really
we've seen
nice to
so
have.
much Rando Day and like how important certain items are, and everyone talks about how important elegant key is, or how important the simple keys are, or how important claw is. But in glitched Rando, we're celebrating finding Great Slash. We're celebrating finding dive as much as wings. Like those are equal, which is just kind of foreign in all the NMG Rando. So yeah, it's fun to have a nice break from that. And missing that Great Slash of Brooding Mala, you'd see is actually costing Aggie quite a few problems here.
Yeah. Looks like they're gonna be going for Abyss. It looks like Aggie putting on that overcharming that King Soul. And right, Aggie did find the King's brand. So I'm not sure if the early control with like the hazards, if you can get out of bounds like with it using wings. But it looks like they don't even need to worry about that, thankfully.
Yeah, it should be a lot safer for them. Shopkeeper's key, I assume. Does everyone have that? Really, everyone?
No, it actually doesn't look like it.
How is Blossom the first to pick that up? Everyone else went through peak.
I think Scorp was maybe really just rushing that Sea Heart goal, because he didn't he did like CG2, but it might have been a deep focus, which he maybe just skipped.
I see. I see.
So yeah, we'll
I
have to
think that
see if
was
there's
at the
something there.
outside deep focus guy key location. Oh yeah, key
Oh.
locations are on. Oh, okay. So then checking egg shop isn't that important. Never mind. I take back what I said earlier.
Hmm.
I think it was the key location, but I could be wrong
Yeah, I'm not sure.
because it would be surprising if both of the others skipped that key location. It's
Yeah.
very accessible on the way.
But we will see here if Aggie's able to find anything in Abyss. Going to be the first one in here. Um, and yeah, it's going to be able to get most of it. Actually, we'll see. Are they going to be able to get to the Arcane Egg in here? Um,
You can't get P float is the problem, right? You can get that initial float, but you need to enter a transition or to get hit by something that's not a hazard in order to get P float. So
yeah.
I think it'd be very
Um,
hard to get to that.
I think that they might be able to do it with just float.
Yeah, without getting to P float, I actually think you might be right.
Yeah, I think
Just
you
with float
could.
might be enough.
Um, but it looks like they may be, yeah, might not be too familiar
Yeah, no
with
need
that and
to
choosing
be
not
too
to.
fancy if you don't know how to do it. I
Yeah,
totally agree with that. Nice Shade Solid Egg Shop.
that's good. Yeah, we didn't really talk too much about it. Like, we've seen two of our runners go for Watcher Knights now, and they really don't have great damage. This Shade Soul's kind of the one of, I guess Aggie has D-Dark, but this is only the second Void Spell we've seen. So another thing with Blossom is coming in here to get the CP Mimic grub, and also killing the Mimic. So it's probably looking at that row 3.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Row 3 is going to be very relevant here for Blossom. It's all up to who finds Dreamnail.
Where is that Dream Nail?
Aggie is behind by a dash, but again, even if they are first to Dreamnail, like they might be in the lead. Like even
Yeah.
behind on checks, even behind on dash, that Dreamnail is going to play a huge role in this seed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think we're gonna see Scorp returning here to get the Stone Sank journal. And now we saw they had some trouble getting there with Float earlier. Now that they have Dash Master, they're not gonna have any problem.
Yeah, Dashmaster being able to preserve that float while moving downwards is enormous. Although it looks like they're able to do it without it. But having
Yeah,
wings
well, they need
makes
the
it
down
easier.
dash right at the end there. Although I
Right
guess
at
they
the
could have just
end.
fireballed and canceled out their float. So do get the goal out of that. Spell Twister could be nice for 4 notches. Probably not.
Yeah, probably that King Soul is a little bit better, but
Yeah.
only the other two have it, so I don't think it'll make a huge difference for Scorp. Although, am I wrong? Maybe Scorp has it too. Scorp has a different track.
Yeah,
Or is
I did
that-
notice that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Trackers
It's all
between our
good.
runners are a little bit different. But you're gonna see Blossom here using float with Dash Master is gonna be able to get all of these like Soul Totem checks that we didn't see from Scorp.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
didn't
this
really
is that-
explain. Or sorry, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is that airwalk that Blossom has. Yeah, is that what you're gonna talk about? Explaining
As
airwalk?
is
Or
that,
something
yeah, I
else?
was gonna say we didn't really talk too much about Airwalk and how it relates to everything here.
Yeah, we should talk about airwalk and float and how they work together. So when you get float, I should be saying P float. When you get float and then you turn it into P float and you have P float. When you walk off a platform, you continue to stay at the same Y value while moving in whatever direction you want. But the game either considers you grounded or ungrounded, like grounded or falling. And if you're falling, you have some actions you can do like dashing downwards or wings. And if you're on the ground, which is generally a little bit better of a state, you can use multiple dashes as opposed to just one. And you can jump. And when I say jump, I mean you can jump and then stay on the ground and jump again and stay on the ground, and you can jump as high as you want. So generally being grounded is better. But when you walk off a platform, the game's gonna consider you falling, as it always does when you walk off a platform. There are ways to fix this. Specifically, if you get float and then you wiggle on the edge of a platform, you just press back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, you will almost always be airwalking, which is the more desirable state to be in. But also, if you have dash, you can just dash off a platform. You don't have to deal with any wiggles. It's totally free. You just end up airwalking.
It's actually, you dash off and then dash back onto the platform. And it's kind of like the corner correct from the dash that gives you the airwalk in that state, or in that like situation.
Yeah, if you've ever been in a situation where you don't think you should have made a jump in Hollow Knight, and then you dash at the peak of your jump, and the game kind of like scoots you up a little bit and is very generous while you're dashing to give you that extra height to make a jump. That is the ability that gives you airwalk. So by dashing off a platform and back on, it corner corrects you, like Apress said, and you end up with airwalk, which again is probably what you want. Then you can dash continuously while you're moving, and you can jump continuously.
You can dream nail.
Yeah, and if you want to start falling, you can easily start falling. You just start charging a C dash or start a dream nail,
or start focusing even.
Oh yeah, focusing. Oh yeah, that's a good point, because that's doable. Itemless.
Something you have from the start, unless you're randomizing focus, in which case you can't.
Yeah, and of course we did not randomize focus, so that will be probably the method of choice for our runners in the very rare times that they want to switch from airwalk to float.
Yeah, so a big part of float movement is kind of managing your airwalk and getting airwalk when you want it, and then getting rid of it, and then finding a way to get it again so that you can like move up. You kind of have that, like, you need airwalk to go up and you need not airwalk to go down with Dash Master. So kind of switching between the two.
Yeah.
Also notably, like, getting hit by an enemy, that will also lose your airwalk. So sometimes you want to keep airwalk, so you need to make sure not to get hit by anything.
Yeah, it's definitely a game you're playing. You know, like to get P float, you almost want to get hit by an enemy at times, and then other times you don't want to be hit by an enemy because then you lose airwalk when you already have float. So then you know, these runners are managing a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't even realize probably, and it's very impressive.
And then you put like Rando and a bingo board on top of it, and yeah, it's a lot of things that you're thinking about.
They're managing a lot, and it's very impressive. One thing I really like from Aggie here, Aggie might not know that they are behind to dash, but they could probably guess that they're behind to something, given that they've only had wings and no dream nail and no anything else for a very long time. So Aggie has been doing weird checks in hopes that they'll be the first to dream nail. And I think that's totally the right play. When you feel like you're already behind, that is the perfect time to split off and do weird stuff. And when you feel like you're ahead, you should continue to do normal stuff that's dense and that's solid, and you're likely to find, you're more likely to find stuff just because there's more stuff. But when you're behind, like, your only chance to win is not to check what everyone else is checking, because you'll just be slower at it because you don't have dash or you don't have whatever else movement you want. So knowing that they're behind, they've already done Broken Vessel, setting up Lost Kin, like that's really smart. Done all of like a bunch of Abyss, like that's really smart. Starting to do Tramlocked Edge right now, maybe. Or going to Deep Nest.
If they go to Deep Nest or Edge, either way they'll be the first one there. So
this is really nice from Aggie. I like what they're doing. Big fan. We're Aggie fans over here. Not that we're not Scorp or Blossom fans, but we're Aggie fans.
Scorp is doing something a little bit similar, though. He's going to be going here for Shape of Un, a little bit of a one-off check. Baby is
kind of middle of nowhere.
Still thinking, like, this board, you need Dream Nail. If anyone had Dream Nail, they would have marked a Dream Nail locked goal by now. So it's like, everyone should kind of be thinking, I should go somewhere that nobody else has gone.
Yeah, I think the first thing I would think is, I want to go where no one else has gone, but also I want to have the benches to complete these goals. So I think
Yeah.
my two priorities, if I were looking at this board, would be one, I need the deep nest benches, I need the peak benches, and I need the city benches. But after that, I should do weird stuff. I should
Yeah.
do itemless Shio egg. I should do those stone sink mass shard. Whatever people are not really thinking about. That's what you want to start thinking about.
Also, yeah, so runners can see what everyone else has marked on the board.
Yeah, it's a full knowledge game, which has a heavy impact on the game. Like they can see no one has marked a dream nail goal. None of the three of them.
And also importantly, runners aren't allowed to hide goals with this, so anything that they do complete, they have to mark.
I didn't know that. Good to know. Oh, that makes sense though. Yeah.
Generally, the only times when you can hide a goal is in something like lockout, or sometimes in like get to the other side where there's like a downside for you to not doing it. So in lockout, it's like if I don't mark a goal, like I'm risking my opponent also completing that goal and then marking it. But in something like blackout show ending or in 3 lines, you need to mark the goals when you do them. There has to be that information. So if you want to hide something, you need to completely not do it. Which definitely changes the way you need to play. Yeah, right, exactly, Jamie. Because if you don't force marking goals, then it's like I'm just gonna not mark any goals and not give my opponents any information.
Yeah, and the game of information makes the format a lot more interesting.
It really does.
Have the information. If it was just, oh, I finished my last goal, then I'll just black out the board. Then it's not really interesting. Oh my goodness! Would you look at that?
Oh, we got it. We got a dream nail.
A dream nail. Blossom is Blossom is the person right now. They are gonna have a.
Oh, there's 2 of them here.
Oh my god! So everything is here.
We're probably not going to see no clip. We might actually see some no clip if you're just going to get 2 at once like that.
If we're just going to get 2 dream nails at once, maybe we'll get to see some fun Dreamgate Invul. We'll see some no clip. This is going to be
putting
good.
Down a Dreamgate, so maybe we see
right by the mimics.
Setting up a glitch.
Right by the mimics. They're not going somewhere near. Oh no, maybe they're going down to rafters to find a pool to dunk in because they have swim.
Yeah, they do have swim.
Although they could go to King Station. Are they going to King Station? No, they're not. No,
they might also just be here for Soulmaster.
Oh yeah, thinking I should do the not Dream Nail Lock goals, like we were talking about before.
Yeah, right. And let me do the ones
that.
Yeah.
That's smart. Very smart play from Blossom.
That's also maybe part of why they put the Dreamgate in left there. They probably didn't want to reveal that they got 4 mimics, like soon after picking up Dream Nail.
Yeah, they don't want to mark 4 mimics because then they might inspire the other players to do so. And if the other players
if they mark 4 mimics and then immediately go mark a Dream Nail locked goal, people are gonna go, the Dream Nail is on the mimics. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Crystal Heart in Seamound. Okay, so Aggie's also got some unique movement. So she might not have dash, but now she's got C dash.
Yeah. And C dash is fun. I don't know how much we'll see it from Aggie, but we might since they have only like limited tools for float. C dash allows you to do a trick called rocket jumping, that you can basically use to get multiple jumps off the ground out of a C dash.
Yeah, you kind of like end a C dash, or is it like start a C dash? I think it's like while you're ending a C dash. Oh, there's another Dream Nail. Wait, I'm sorry, I got interrupted by what I was thinking because Aggie also has a Dream Nail.
Oh, in Seamound.
In Seamound.
Okay.
So suddenly this is like a real match, and that's 2 of the, I assume, 3 Dream Nails in the pool that we've seen. So Scorp, if he wants a chance at this race, he's really gonna have to start heading toward either the Sports Room Tablet or a Seamound, which are both kind of insane checks. I guess the Sports Room isn't insane, but The other one is. So we'll see. Seamount's kind of crazy. Like this is
Seamount,
just what I
yeah,
was
and they're just-
praising. It was just what I was praising Aggie for earlier, checking weird
Right.
stuff. Like Seamount is weird, and it gave them a dream nail. Like that's huge for them.
And on this board, there's a single goal in C peak, and they've already done it. So like, it seems very unlikely that Scorp is going to go back there. But we see Aggie right away is going to be going for 0. I imagine working towards that 500 essence, Shrine of Believers, get all the seer checks, like any number of those. They just want some essence for that.
Yeah, this is actually going to end up close. Aggie's very close to row 5, ahead of Blossom, who has not defeated Watcher Knights yet.
Yeah.
Aggie is, wow, yeah, and
Although
relatively close to column 1.
Yeah, Blossom at this point has like some really good options, right? It looks like if they just go for Galeon and 4 Mimics, that's it for them. So they're actually
right.
super close, and they're on their way to Galeon now. They have their Dreamgate right by the Mimic, so
You're right. This might not end up as close as I expected. Blossom's going to be done within what, 3 minutes, probably.
yeah, that sounds about right.
As long as we don't see a death to Galeon, Blossom's going to be done very, very soon. So, yeah, well, very, very well played by Blossom.
Yeah, they really set themselves up for just a lot of flexibility with this finish here, just with the goals that they've done.
Yeah, they
like
were
handling
very
a lot
smart,
of that column 1 stuff early helps a lot.
Yeah, doing a lot of early goals and getting checks that are on the way to goals, as opposed to just getting fast checks, but prioritizing checks close to goals. It really worked for them. Very smart. Scorp is just room duped. Was that on purpose, by accident?
Oh, I missed it.
Scorp is dying while stagging?
Huh.
I don't even know what that does.
Are still just black magic to me. I kind of I know how to do them. I have no idea what Scorp is setting up here, but I'm excited to see
I'm
what
so
it is.
excited. Yeah, I don't know what we're about to see.
Although it doesn't
Stag clip.
Do we have multiple rooms loaded right now?
I'm gonna need Matt to explain to me what the heck is happening in chat, because I'm lost. But also that is just about GG from Blossom. So we can that's it. GG's from Blossom. Well played. I have no idea if we have time for interviews or not. I would guess we do, but I don't really know. We'll just have to see, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, Matt did answer it away. Dying while stagging is free, no clip without Dream Nail. I didn't even know that was a thing. There's so many glitches in this game. That's awesome. What?
I was like discovered maybe a month or 2 ago. Like it's
that's
recent.
awesome.
Yeah. So one of the awesome things we can celebrate HK8Y is something discovered this year, which is a third way. I can only think of 2 other ways to get no clip. So we've discovered a third way to get no clip, and the other 2 ways we only knew that you had to get Dreamgate, and this is the first way we can get no clip without Dreamgate. We can start to see Scorp do some no clip movement. This is going to be awesome. You can see they're totally intangible to collision, to walls. You could see they are invulnerable.
Oh, does this also give you invuln?
I thought so. Actually, I could be lying. If normal no clip doesn't, then
okay, they can
lying.
Still take damage. Yeah. So
I see.
Because it's normally Dreamgate. Like no clip also gives you Dreamgate invuln.
Yeah. They're like kind of a consequence almost.
Yeah, because then there is also like main menu storage you can get no clip with, and that doesn't. You still take damage with that. But yeah, that's super cool. I mean, no clip. We had no time to talk about it because it didn't really come up. But again, follows a lot of it has a lot of similarities to float. In that, like, you're not affected by gravity, you can kind of go up and down. There's similar things with trying to like manage your airwalk, and like you can't move down generally unless you have like dash master down dash.
Yes. But generally, it's probably about 3 times more useful and about 50 times more complicated than float. Like I understand,
and 50
float.
times more likely to soft lock.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult to use no clip effectively. But 2 of the people who I know who know no clip very effectively are Scorp and Blossom. So
yeah,
those 2 are absolute whizzes at using no clip. And yeah, we're gonna see some awesome no clip movement from Scorp, I'm sure.
It's going
Aggie
to be
has
a
now
Lostkin
defeated
for Aggie.
Lostkin. I'm surprised.
Which I don't
that
even know if they
defeated
want to use it
Lostkin.
for the goal. Lostkin just gives you a lot of essence. 400 essence is just great.
Ah, you're right. They're probably just looking at column 5 because the actual defeat Lostkin goal is pretty trash. Although maybe they go for. Oh no, they could go
They
for
could do
row
the 2
4.
shade gates and the
Yeah,
Stone Sink
I was
Journal.
looking
That's
at
not
the
bad at all.
diagonal and the column. Those are bad, but the row's good.
Yeah. No, Aggie looks like maybe going for row 4, row 5, column 5.
Yeah, yeah, that
Actually,
all
we
sounds
have no
right to
shape
me.
of on Balder Shell, so
Oh, they can't go for column 5. Yeah.
yeah. Unless it's in a shop somewhere that we didn't see, which is possible.
Yeah. Maybe they'll go for top left, bottom right. Maybe they'll talk to Fluke Hermit.
Yeah, I could see that
Or
too.
either Fluke Hermit or Galeon. I mean, either one's totally fine.
Yeah.
Or Trader Lord, but probably not Trader Lord.
They have options here. And there's always the chance that they just find Shape of Un. It could just be here. What is Aggie doing right here, actually?
Blossom, by the way, everyone got wings before dash. You were second to dash. Aggie still doesn't have dash, but instead has dash. Of course, every line is Dreamnail locked. You were the first to Dreamnail, and Aggie was second, and Scorp is still looking.
I'm forgetting now. What was the dash that Scorp found?
Scorp found
it was
dash.
A different one than Blossom got. It was at King's Arena.
Different. You're right, King's Arena. That's exactly what it was. And you found the one at Fragile Strength, which is behind.
Scorp doesn't even have strength.
Yeah, one of the strengths was at Junk Pit, and I don't even know where Grimchild was. Do they all have that? Or
it was greed, not
awesome.
Strength. Okay.
It was greed. Oh, it was greed. Okay, well, they both have greed? You know what? Only Scorp's tracker shows greed, but Scorp does have greed.
But no Grimchild, so.
Yeah, Vi, you found a good seed. You didn't know that I would generate a board with every single line being Dreamnail locked. and that's your fault that you didn't know that. You should have known that I would generate that. That's your fault, obviously. No, it gave us more rando content. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gave us a lot of opportunities to just see our runners go in different directions.
Yeah,
which I love
so
for
much
Glitch
exploration.
Rando.
Yeah, we got to see itemless Shio egg and then floating up to Shio, and we got to see no clip stag clip is what I believe it was called. So we're seeing some awesome stuff here.
Yeah.
Is Aggie going for the fireball shade skip here?
So you don't actually need a fireball. It's a little bit tricky, but you can get the shade to it's right at the edge of its leash. But it is possible to get up here with a pogo and a good wings jump. And yeah, Stax,
with
so
fireball,
Scorp did
pretty easy.
Did stag no clip to get down into Abyss. Which I had no idea what was going on there, but that was really cool to see. I'm gonna need to mess around with that in the future. That looks fun.
Yeah, it's such an awesome thing that we can show off glitches that are still being discovered in this game after 8 years now. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing to showcase, and thank you to Scorp for pulling that off during our beautiful glitch showcase here, glitch rando showcase. Stag clip, just wild.
Yeah.
So there's Aggie slashing the first shade gate. About to complete.
Should be soon to follow.
Yeah, about to complete their second line, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and that'll leave them just with Galeon left to finish things off.
Did they get all the seer checks? I kind of think they got.
I think so, but I'm not actually sure because I think there were only 3 things. I think they got them.
Yeah, maybe Blossom can ask. So, by the way, the 3 runners, they're all friends, and they've just been in a call while playing this rando together. They didn't want to separate and just play in their own holes. They just decided it'd be more fun to play while talking to each other. So, Blossom, if you're still talking to Aggie, maybe Aggie can get all the seer checks, possibly, maybe. Or not. Who knows?
It's also possible they didn't do it. Like, I know they talked to Seared Open China Believers. They might have just left the chest alone. I kind of missed it, so.
I saw them slash the chest, and they got a rancid egg, but I'm not sure if they got every check there, but, like, I don't know why they would pick up one check without picking them all up. So, if I had to guess, they got all the seer checks. Again, it might not even be on the 3 lines, so it's probably no big deal.
I think it's probably not, because they're on their way to Galeon now, so I think that'll be their finish.
Yeah, and if they've shown 500 essence, then, who cares?
But that'll be a nice dashless finish for Aggie here.
Dashless finish, that's wild.
And yeah, Scorp, like, going out, completing some more goals and stuff, but is just going to be locked by that Dream Nail.
Yeah, brutal.
At literally every turn.
Maybe those in chat who have access to the spoiler log can tell us where that 4th Dream Nail was.
Yeah, I am curious.
Scorp ever had a chance at it, or if it's just if they're all ridiculous.
A little bit of bait kind of too, I think, getting this like dive float with Great Slash very early, but you don't get the Dream Nail to like fully cancel things out.
Yeah.
And like really turn it into the tool to do everything with.
Definitely interesting. Yeah, this was a really good scene, and it was exciting to see a deviation right at the beginning with Scorp getting VS and the other two going straight to Fungal and going to DV and going to Green Path. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening this scene. Very fun to watch. The last Dream Nail is at Lore Tablet past Soulmaster.
That's crazy. Scorp is right here.
That
but
is
not gonna
definitely
be able to pick it up with dive float right now.
No, it's definitely dive locked. You could get it with dive storage, but there's nowhere to get dive storage in this room, so.
Well, you can just come up with float. If Scorp comes up with float, they can get it.
Really? How do you get down there?
I mean, you just have float up at the top.
They have dive.
Yeah, they have dive, so you can go with the dive float and then cancel it out. But also Aggie,
Wow.
if Aggie had soul after Soulmaster.
Oh yeah, Aggie had to warp out after Soulmaster.
They probably would have gotten. Well, they did the out of bounds. They did the soup.
Yeah. GG's Aggie, well played. Congrats on the 3 lines.
Yeah, GG 3 lines.
Hopefully our runners are willing to come in for commentary.
Yeah.
For what are they called? Interviews? Yeah, and then we can talk about the scene. That would be lovely.
But yeah, I do Blossom's comment. Dreamgate it back to Mimics at the end because you made a sound after picking up Dreamgate. And they both know you well enough to know what the sound meant. No, we did talk about that, seeing you leave Mimics, and talked a little bit about wanting to hide that goal. So we had a feeling, Blossom, but
crazy.
Yeah, GG. A really impressive showcase. But man, it really is crazy just to think about how close Aggie came to that Dream Nail.
Yeah, they could have finished so long ago with that.
Yeah.
It would have been crazy. Yo, GG's everybody.
GG's.
Later pie.
Hi.
Yeah, those two 3 bell spells back to back. That was kind of. I couldn't mark mimics. I was like, they were both like,
No.
you have dream now. I was like, yeah.
We literally asked Blom, "You have dream nail, don't you?" And they were like, "No, I definitely don't."
No, I would never have dream nail.
Oh,
Never.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'm marking the goal that I'm literally right next to right now. They're just gonna come here.
Yeah. If you tell them out loud, I have dream nail, and then mark 4 mimics, that might not be the best strategy to winning the round.
Not really.
So the beginning of the seed was really interesting. So Scorp was the only one who instantly fought Brooding Moloch. Blossom came back for it later. Aggie never did it. And at Brooding Moloch was Great Slash, which could have been so useful for you, Aggie, both at Lurien and at Sanctum. It was really
On the way to
unfortunate you
Sea
didn't have it.
Dash, to Sea Heart.
Yeah, there
Forever
were a
to
lot
get
of
float.
unfortunate moments you had to quit out there. So that was kind of brutal. Oh my gosh, the dash locations were silly. So one of them was at King Station Arena, and Scorp was first to that. And then of course Blossom found one. You might have already talked about this, but Blossom found one at Fragile Greed, Unbreakable Greed. I don't even know where they found Greed or Grimchild, but
Yeah.
Both greeds. There was one at like the fungal tablet below Leg Eater. There's one
Okay.
also in Green Path. I don't remember.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, I just saw Scorp pick up a dash at Ancestral Mount.
Yes,
So-
there is
oh
a
my
dash
God.
in System out.
So Vengeful Spirit also had one just for the fans. If anyone wanted to get that one, obviously no one would pick up that
loggers
during the
looking
race.
at the 4th dash.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. And then, of course, y'all know that every single line on the board was Dream Nail locked, and so I can tell you where the Dream Nails are if you haven't learned already. 2 were by Spore Shroom, so Blossom got Dream Gate. 1 Aggie found was at Crystallized Mound, and that was really impressive to check something way out of the way. So that was awesome. And the other one will make Aggie and possibly Scorp mad. It's the Lore
I'm
Tablet
ready.
after Soul Master.
Oh, are you actually kidding me?
It was so unfortunate. Aggie did not have Soul after beating Soul Master. We were talking about, we were like, oh, that's so unfortunate. Later to learn that Dream Nail was there, like the entire seed was there. That was brutal.
That is infuriating. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm so
That's
mad.
so funny though. That's so
Yeah.
funny. I love that.
It was definitely funny. Yeah. And then the other early game decision that I want to talk about was both Aggie and Blossom did the out of bounds to get to Fungal first, and Scorp decided to check Crossroads first. Definitely ended up being the right play. He instantly checked Go Mass Shard, and Aggie checked it very quickly also. So Blossom was really late to dive, like mega late to dive.
I never got the Go Mask Shard dive. That's
Yeah,
funny.
you didn't.
I even thought to myself, I wonder if I should check Go Mask Shard. But like they pretty much told me like when I was like in cliffs that they had like some form of float. I was like, oh, I should go back to Crossroads. And I found VS and I was like,
Oh,
oh,
like that must be what they're talking about.
That was their
what
version.
we're talking about apparently.
Yes. Scorp being ahead to both VS and Great Slash and Dive, we were like, wow, Scorp's looking great. And then we realized just how important Dream Nail was. So even being first to Dash, first to Great Slash, first to Dive, first
I
to
believe wings as
Yeah.
well.
And wings,
you were
yeah.
probably second to Wings. So yeah, and even after all that, you ended up last because Dream Nail was that important in the seed. It was just brutal.
It happens. It's Rando.
That's just
Yeah,
random.
I found Dive and went, cool, I'm going to cliffs. Bye.
Going to cliff, yeah.
Yeah, and you were right. You could not have been more right.
There was one moment, Blossom, that I said I should talk to you about. I did see you snap by that elegant key at Sly, and I was like, oh, Blossom's definitely just gonna be like, why did I buy that? Because random muscle memory says that's an important thing to buy, but it's the useless key.
That's what I said like at first when I bought it, but then I was like, I want dash for delayed interaction, so I didn't do it.
Oh wait, do you do delayed interaction with dash and not nail?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
I don't know the version. I should definitely
interesting.
learn the dashless like version.
Yeah,
but I
That's the
don't
only version I ever
currently.
learned.
I find it really funny. I never found Dash.
Yeah.
So my C dash was right near the dream nail.
Hmm. But wait, I do want to talk about Scorp also. We got to see you do the stag no clip.
Oh,
towards the end there to get into
yes!
it. I had no idea what's going on. I was like, oh, we're doing room dupes. I don't know why we're doing room dupes. I didn't even know this was a thing. And people were explaining it to me in chat. But that's awesome. That was so cool to see.
Yeah, that's a new glitch. We figured out. Gustin figured it out like 2-3 weeks ago, and I've been practicing the hell out of it just to showcase here. Because I thought it would be really funny.
So what is the setup? Where did you? Because I didn't see the setup. Like, what room are you duping in order to die while stacking?
I can do that again if you want to.
I would love to see it again. Yeah.
But the whole principle is dying while you're in the stack animation, and we usually do Queen's Station and Dirtmouth because they line up really perfectly.
Okay.
I just need to get some salt here. Give me a second.
Yeah. No, but this seems really huge. Like, being able to get no clip so easily. Like, I'm sure that's gonna enable a lot of things in future glitch randos.
It has. I have been practicing for it for a while now. It is not as broken as you would think.
Okay.
Because you cannot bench. You will lose no clip when you bench, and you are limited by your stacks then. So we have to see what stacks do you have and make the move from stack to the place you want to be. And that was too early. But it really is cool. I've been having a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, this is cool. I think I'm gonna need to learn this at some point.
Why did I lose so? Actually, I can just get menu start with Create Slash, I believe. No, we cannot do that. Glitches wise, what else did you guys find funny? I think we did a lot of stuff. We actually did a lot of glitch stuff here.
We tried. Yeah, Henry and I were trying to do our best to just explain everything as it was coming up.
Yeah, lots of dive float and the delayed interaction storage at Shade Soul we talked about. That's always a fun one. Oh, you did itemless Shio egg. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was
and
a
then
fun
and then
one.
after that you'd use float to get to Shio himself. That was great. Oh, the other thing that you did that was maybe questionable was you did the reverse fungal city crest entrance.
Oh, right. You got
dive storage by diving into the acid, and then you use dive float to rise up. All reasonable things to do, and then you use great slash, and you started falling, and you were falling. And you were falling, and it was probably a minute and a half of you just falling there. I mean, maybe not that long, but like, wasn't King Stag like very accessible?
King Stag was very accessible. I had both E-Key, Tramp Pass, and City Crest.
And you had City Crest.
That's great.
That's so funny. Well, it's good that you did it. This is really a showcase of all the lovely glitches that can make Rando an absolute blast, and you guys did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you guys had fun.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I like glitches.
It was so much fun. Rando and glitches. Yippee, 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 yippee.
But yeah, unless our runners have any other things they want to talk about, we'll probably get wrapped up a little bit early here. But we have one more run tonight. Blackout True Ending is going to be coming up in around 15 minutes, so do stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I hear some of the runners are like really cool and awesome. So
I
really recommend
like the
watching.
awesome and amazing and cute Henry.
True. That is
Oh my
one
gosh,
of the
that's
runners.
me.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, that is you.
Oh my god.
And then of course, don't forget that this is just day one of HK8 year. We have meme day tomorrow and main day on Saturday. So much great Hollow Knight content. It's gonna be a blast. Do stick around.
Yippee.
But yeah, thanks again to our runners for putting on a great show for everyone. That was so much fun.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks
Thank you,
to Comms
everybody.
for being cute, and also Chat for being
Yep.
cute, and also Restreamer for
And-
being cute.
Yeah, and thanks Natty for being cute and awesome and
Maybe.
hippie.